brought to us by our title sponsor, Graphite GTC. Graphite GTC is a no-code development platform which helps us develop application-level web applications without writing even a single line of code. This year's theme for the fest, A Voyage to Zenith, focuses on capturing the advancements in the business, academic, technological, and socio-economic world that changes the world has undergone in the past few years in order to prepare the young minds for the future. Now, today we are gathered here for a keynote session by Mr. Anil Agarwal. We are prepared for a keynote session by Mr. Anil Agarwal, the chairman of Vedanta. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome on stage our moderator for the event, Professor Lakshmi Narayan from the Department of Material Sciences, IIT Delhi. Give a round of applause for our moderator, please.
Thank you, Gautam. And of course, I would like to start this session by welcoming Mr. Anil Agarwal. Mr. Anil Agarwal is a personality who needs no introduction. Of course, that doesn't mean I'm going to introduce myself, but let me go and introduce him as he's one of the most celebrated personalities in India, an industrialist par excellence. He is the chairman of Vedanta Resources, a company he founded in 1976. The company started as a cable manufacturer and went on to be listed in the London Stock Exchange in 2003. Born in 1954 in Patna, Mr. Agarwal rose through the ranks from running a scrap metal business 4 decades back to becoming India's wealthiest tycoons. Apart from this, Mr. Agarwal is also a great philanthropist. In 1992, he created the Vedanta Foundation to carry out his philanthropic programs and activities. He has also pledged to donate 75% of his family's wealth to charity. Without further ado, and without taking more time, we welcome Mr. Anil Agarwal to deliver today's keynote session on scaling the businesses. Please welcome him with a round of applause.
Professor Sujin Babu, Chairman, TRYST, Professor Ashok Patel, Vice Chairman, TRYST, Professor Lakshmi Narayan, Moderator of the event, students at the 16th batch. For me, it is a pleasure and honor to be the best and to best students and future of India, to talk to them, to interact with them. There cannot be better time for me than this. Thank you very much. I'm very humble and honored to be part of this, to be with you. And please, thank you very much for inviting me for this occasion. IIT Delhi is most prestigious. Is it okay? You know? IIT Delhi is the most prestigious institution. It has given a phenomenal leaders for our country and abroad. Is being talked about all over the world. There is a trend where people like to take people from IIT India to their organization. As already been told, I come from a very humble background from Bihar. I'm very proud of Bihari to grew up there and came to London, Bombay when I was 19. Had no idea what I'm going to do. Thousands of people come to Bombay to try their luck, whether it's in the entertainment industry, diamond industry, to work. It is a place of opportunity. I took that chance too. Came on the BT station with a steel box and a bedding. I was astonished to see in person outside the Victoria station, and determined and prayed that I should continue to be here. Struggle, enjoy every moment. Fail business after business. 9 business failed, but never give up. One thing for sure, never give up. Every moment you are learning, you are making sure you are taking your step forward. As you move forward, a new door open, new people meet, you learn from them, and you strive again, and you become successful. Same thing happened. I tried to go to US. I thought US is a land of opportunity. Spent some time there looking at some of the equipment to bring it back and set up. India was in need of, there was a huge gap of telephone. 8 years used to take for getting a telephone line. The biggest shortage was telephone cable. To relocate a telephone manufacturing company into India was a very difficult time, and that broke the ice, and we become successful. My daughter was born in New York. Then I remember the thing changed, and change happened. Narasimha Rao government, which abolished a lot of rule and regulation, closed down a lot of department like DGTD, Director General Technical Development, obtaining a license. It was a club which was only never allow other people to come. I was the man on the street and trying to enter into the club. All of you will face that difficulty, but with your perseverance, with your passion, with your hunger, you have to get into that and make your position. Came to London, very important to raise money. It was very difficult to raise money. Today, Indian banks, startup, mutual fund, a private equity has flooded with the fund, but that time fund was scarce. So I came to London with my 2 children, stayed in the hotel, don't know what I'm doing, but with my work for 2 years, I delisted my company from Bombay Stock Exchange, real estate, London Stock Exchange. The market cap was $40 million, becomes $2 billion, 17,000 crore I raised in London, and with that money I acquired Bharat Aluminum Company, Hindustan Zinc, Sesa Goa. Never look back. Each of the company has done phenomenally well. Each of the company has increased their production 3 to 4. Hindustan Zinc raised 7 times more production. It was a lot of headwind, but with the determination, with the blessing of parents, we believe in that, with blessing of Almighty, I could succeed. And when I see you people, today is your time. Today is your time. You people are smart. You people have a position in the world. India is phenomenal name in the world, especially with the young people. All the large company in the world, all government in the world wants, whether you go to White House, whether you go to 10 Downing Street, whether you go to EC, you will find there are Indian leaders. In technology side, the way India is doing all back office and innovation centers, one company back office which has about 800 people that has been shut down, 100 of industry in US was suffering because the back office was designing for them. India, we have advantage where people believe that Indian back office will do the work. I've just said that what Indian techie, Indian technology, IT people to US, we should develop our own. Bill Gates immediately replied on the same tweet saying that if you stop getting Indian people to US, they will create their own Google, Amazon, and the large company. You better allow them to come for America to develop. This is your opportunity. This is your opportunity. Vedanta, we are both sides. One is old economy, which is very, very important. Out of $100, we spend $65 to $70 in import of oil and gas, gold, copper, coal, fertilizer, electronics, everything. There, it is a time, I'm a geologist, not by profession, but with the experience, and I can see our Dharti Mata has everything what we need. And today is a time with technology disruption. With a better environment, we can produce all this in our own land. We need more and more junior mining people like you to come up, take a risk, take a position. It does not cost much, but very good chance to succeed. It is also a startup. It's a different startup. It's startup where you can, with today's time, 60-70% old time, as you know, when there used to be heart problem, heart attack, heart, repair it and fit it back. Today, with the our Mother Earth, we can find out 60-70% where we have to dig, where we can find the copper, where we can take out. I must have a right to sell. This was very, very interesting. Today is a time of technology. Today is a time of digital. Any company, that company which is not technology driven, digital driven, either digital, anything you do, you have to think how can we do digital, how we can do things different. Also very, very important that you should work. 1/3 money is in the bricks and mortars, 2/3 money in the equity. So you should always, making money should not be a sin. Making money should be taken as a very positive. We should not be greed, but all of you remain as a conscious to make money. It will take few years, but there is no doubt that you can make more and more money because equity focus is very important. People love innovation. People love environmental friendly. Perception is very, very important. Dress and address. You all must promise me that very important. How do you address? How do you walk and talk will help your personality and create value for yourself. Please create value for yourself. It is a time for you to create value, whatever you do. I'm sure you will work few years with the company, then you may think of starting on your own, or you can start your startup. Today is a time of alliance. Make alliance as much as possible to put your things together. Take a risk. There is no harm unless you fail few times. I failed and I realized, like in Dara Singh, when he used to fight, he used to get a beating like after beating, and then that was his food. And then he used to start fighting, he used to win the race. So today is a phenomenal time. For me, it's a very privilege to address people like IIT, which we are very proud, not only in India, all over the world. Wherever you are working, you create name for yourself. After a few years, you want to go do the MBA, that's fine. Some people don't. That's also okay with your experience. Doing things differently is very important. Thinking differently is very important. For India, there are three things which I have always said. Everybody has different ideas, but for me, few things. Number one is our natural resource. We have to explore and to take forward, and it is very simple to explore and produce our natural resource. And we have hardly have culture of mining. Mining is a beautiful word, but with the right manner. Keeping always environment, keeping always ESG, zero carbon. We will the people who will be doing ahead of others the renewable energy. And we will produce everything through renewable energy, but it will take time. Till that time, we have to use our coal. We have to make sure that with today's technology, we have remained within our permissible limit. With the blessing, our coal quality, our oil qualities are better than others. Number two is government has no business to be in a business. There was a time where government has to industry, but today is a time to privatize. Maybe 20% company can privatize, 80% of the company has to make a corporation. Today in India, if you see the company like are running without owner, with independent, we has to corporatize this, come out of the business, make sure that the shares are sold. Today the mutual fund, private equity, individual, they are tremendous. No retrenchment should take place. Balco, where we have expanded capacity. When we took over this company, it was 5,000 people. It has gone more than 25,000 people. So it is only a perception that retrenchment will take place. It will never happen. It will expand. We have a 52 defense factory in the country. I'm sure some of you have experience to see those factory. Go to Bhusawal, go to Jabalpur. All these company of defense. It is like a small town by itself, and it is running on 10-20% capacity. It's not that those people are not good. Each of public sector people are very knowledgeable. They need a free hand, different mindset, having the young people to come in, disrupt, conceptually designed, we can be the largest producer of arm and ammunition in the world. The natural resource, we have to privatize this company. Setting up the companies are much easier today, whether it's the smallest idea you have or big. Government is very favorable. Self-certification is a need of our. More and more you trust. This should not be pre-license. Everything to be self-certified so we can move forward. Single window clearance government is talking about. So you can think to set up your own industry. Startup is a very, very good word. In the world, India is the largest startup. Be lazy. One thing to take out laziness from us. It is a time for our country to take it forward. I don't understand why my country is not developed country. Why we remain as a developing country. As a geopolitical situation, if you see, we are in a very sweet spot. I go to America, everybody want alternative source of supply, and the way they are looking is India. Whether it's a textile, whether it's a furniture, whether it's a anything of day-to-day life, they want to source from India. And it is a time you to look at. Biggest thing is happening, your laptop is a window to the world. More and more you go there, you'll find new ideas will come. You people are analysts. It's very important to have a very analytical mind. You have seen the Moneyball movie, and if you have not, please see how that man was successful because one of the analysts was with him and he was analyzing all the time and navigating him not to do this way. So analysts are very, very important today, and that will also help you. You are the people very focused on digital. Very, very important is the whole world want to come to India. 10,000 years history. Government also has to come out of the tourism sector, whether it's a game park. We have one of the best, we can create one of the best game park, our monuments, our temple, our mosque, anything you talk about, we people like to come. If it comes in the people like entrepreneur like you can make a difference. The huge hospitality will start, the travel will be very different, and 10 times more tourists will come, and which will add to our GDP. Our women, the way they have come up, I congratulate all our women leaders who has come forward. It's required a different mindset of the organization to handle them well, to create an atmosphere for them. I have seen the way they are delivering. They take time. Once they are convinced that this is the right thing, their deliveries are better. It is our duty to support them. How do we encourage them so they can come forward and we become equal partner in our journey. So we can talk about Vedanta. Vedanta is a $30 billion company. I'm very excited. 25 years back, it was $1 million revenue. We have reached only because of people like you. We have a young team. I work any point of time, at least 5-6 youngsters always with me, engineers, MBA, chartered accountant, IIT, and trust me, it's not that I'm teaching them, I'm learning from them. I'm learning from them all the time. We have to be humble. We should not think that we know everything. If you keep our mind and our heart open, you see where you reach, what you can learn from people, young people like you, we have experience, but we don't have the mind what you have. And if we have the mixture of you people, the hierarchy has to go away. We all have to work together. We have to get away with our fear, but we will develop the respect because which is our DNA. We also have a DNA that we respect our parents, we respect Almighty. Please hold one handle, whether it's your parents, whether it's a God, anything that help, that give us a lot of energy. So I wish all of you very, very best. This is your time. India is on a great path, very sweet spot. Mr. Modi, the way he has handled the geopolitical situation, we are not enemy of Russia or America. We are balancing every time. Our Prime Minister is talking that with the dialogue, please find a solution. With the dialogue, please find a solution which nobody talk about. And we are the people who talk about. India has a history. We never attack anybody. We remain peaceful, and phenomenal situation today. I have no doubt with people like you, we will be at a very different planet. Starting, we have to live on the survival, but as you go, you have to think for your family, you have to think for your community, and very important, to be remain nationalist. To be remain nationalist, to be very proud. I've never been hesitant to say that I'm a proud Bihari. There was a time when people used to hesitate, but I never ever gone that I'm not from Bihar. And that we have to keep our roots strong. Where we come from, we always remember. And there is no question that people like you will grow very well. Very important that, as I said, 2/3 money is with the equity. Anything you do, please keep that in mind. Wherever there is a better multiple, there is a better investor, because investor has a different set of mind. So you have to keep in mind all the time, because salary is one thing, but when you get your stake through the equity, it's a very different position. And you have to be very smart to choose the line where you can get value for your equity. You get the equity so you can do better. Please make your life better. Choose your life partner. We have a fantastic situation whereby in the Western world, there is a 60% divorce. Today in India, we still remain within 3%. So there is a culture. There is a culture which takes us long way. We die for our children. I've seen the way, I'm sure your parents has very difficult, with lot of difficulties, raise you, given you the money. It is our duty to give back to them. So I have not prepared any speech. I have said from my heart, I'm ready to take any question you have, anything I can clarify, but it is my pleasure to speak to all of you and to have people like you. I know that it was a lot of excitement. I've been hearing from evening, the other IIT people are logging in. My company, I have in my company 100,000 people, and you will not believe 100,000 people. We have by and large no union. When I first started my company, it was 80 people, and I had 3 unions. I understand the psychology of the people. If you think good for the people, if you give them a ladder, everybody hope that he is going to be CEO one day, and you really well-meaning for them, give them a quality of life. Today, youngsters need a better quality of life, and it is very important for all the employer. And if you are going to be employer, make sure your team, you treat them like your friend. It is very important. Shoulder to shoulder we run. We develop this respect We unnecessarily we don't develop the hierarchy. We work with them and we go forward. I have no doubt it is a question of time. In 5 years' time, India, we will provide job for everybody. We will eradicate our poverty. We will remain Atmanirbhar. Our Prime Minister has said that we are not revenue minded, we are production minded. Please do not fear for the failure and you will go forward. So this is from my heart. I wish all of you very best, do very well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much for the very nice talk, Mr. Agarwal. So I will start with a few questions, and then maybe if we have more time, I think we'll ask a few questions from the audience as well. So to start off, it was a very inspiring talk, in the sense that the journey from a very small place to being one of the biggest entrepreneurs in India and the world is not easy. We can all see the struggles that you went through. So, of all the challenges you faced and overcame, which one has been the biggest learning for you? Or what did you really feel of what challenges you saw? Which one had the biggest impact and which one did you learn most from?
The financial difficulties. And at that point of time, you don't have to collapse. Keep your head on, head up. Never be defensive. If you believe that your business is good, I have no doubt you will find. When I was setting up my first jellyfish cable plant, and when I saw that the 8 years was waiting list for the telephone to be get connected. When I setting up the plant, it was required 40 crores or to 60 crores to set up the plant. I've spent 2 years in US, gone to places, identify the plant. I could set up the plant in 8 crores rupees, and it became one of the best plant in India. You know, with your heart, with your love and affection, we have a very special quality. We have a quality where we win the people. We will win the people of heart, and you people have to win the heart of the people. Whether you're banker, whether your partner, whether your employees, when you win the heart, door open. And that was my biggest challenge at that time. And I could set up that plan. Very difficult to convince the people that in second-hand equipment also you can produce the best quality. It was a difficult time, but this difficult time take you forward. There's several incidents when I listed my stock exchange.
So let me ask the another question, and it is very relevant to the theme that we have in IITs nowadays. Um, Generally, as you see, most students who come to IIT, they come up with the aspiration that they want to go for a job or they will want to go for higher studies. But nowadays, a lot of people are engaged in doing something called startups. And there is a lot of confusion for people who do not have this experience or have not seen anybody in their close spaces as being an entrepreneur. So, for people who have no idea or no clue on how to start a company or how to go for a startup or how to become an entrepreneur, what do you think are the essential tips on how one should become an entrepreneur?
Because we have come with a very humble background. So we can always take risk. Number two, for you, Some people have brilliant ideas and they can put those ideas and take it forward. Some people can join the entrepreneur. Some of the people who has a startup, everybody need a team. Join them. Join them, understand with them. You will understand the culture. You will understand the culture, and as you go, door will open. You may make the same company bigger, or you can start on your own. So for any three choice you have, one choice, as you said, some people want to work for a couple of years in the company which they want, but be very selective of the company. The company, entrepreneurship company who on the fast track make you decision making position, allow you to use your idea and also create value. Have a stock option, it has a market recognize them. So you have this one option. After that you can do MBA. Some people can definitely do the startup on their own. They have ideas, all about the ideas. We are in India probably one of the largest company who have the largest startup. We encourage like anything, and we kept the fund side, and trust me, out of 10, 5 or 6 does not succeed, and we write off that money, and we never regret for that, because trying, they are trying, and that's what helped me. It is like a casino, one number work, it gives you 100 times more reward, more idea, disruption. So this is the trend today. So they have this is third, they can start do this startup. There are some people who are very financial mind. They can go into the finance because they are technical. They can go to the financial market, look at the analytical way, have the analysts with them, go into the investment mood, create a small fund, and go and visit those company, startup, and say, I'm going to take a stake in your company. So there are, as you go, small thing also work. A small restaurant, a small toy shop, anything you think, you go out of your door, you find 10 ideas. But please do not step to one. This is your time, you are young. At my time, I'm going to stick to what I know. But in your time, you can have to try few things.
Next question I have is actually very close to my heart, in the sense that since I am a faculty member here and I take lectures, sometimes of let's say 100 to 400 students, there are many times we encounter students who have this feeling of pressure, who have this fear of failure. In fact, most of us do. Even if I'm of the age of 35, I sometimes have the fear that I will be a failure. So this is one question that comes to me, since you have had ups and downs in your careers, and you have gone through probably massive ups and turns, ups and downs. So how do you really overcome failure as a person, and what kind of advice do you have for people who have this fear of failure?
Not overconfident. It is not good to be overconfident. If you are less confident, you have a better way of succeed. And my life, from my student life from Bihar to now, I was most nervous person, very insecure all the time, and always had a fear of a failure. But next day morning you get up and start again. And we have all the tools, Sham, Dam, Dand, Bhed. Please go through this meeting and go for it. and must believe that करने वाला वो है, कराने वाला वो है, you are a निमित्त. You have to put your 100%, remain focused 100%. There is no question that success will not come. But people who are going to be big, they will get more and more failure. People who get immediate success means they are going to be, it's not that they are not going to be big, but it is good to be failure because that make you strong and take you forward. सपना देखना बंद नहीं करना है, सपना देखते ही रहना है. जितना बड़ा सपना आप देखेंगे उतना आप आगे बढ़ेंगे. सपना देखना बंद मत कीजिएगा.
Yeah, that's very nice. Thank you for that advice. I would definitely start dreaming more and sleeping more from now on. So the other thing which I really liked about your talk was the message that one should hold on to your roots, right? You always talk about being a proud Bihari, and many people do still that in different places, and that is one very unique thing about India. So when I was abroad and working in different places, one thing I used to always think about, especially in terms of India, was that, and the thing I liked about India was that the food is very nice, and number two, that my parents are there, and that's where my roots are. But if I ask you the same question as to what do you really like about India, what would be your answer?
We certain things we can't change. We can't change our parents. We can't change where we come from. Instead of remaining defensive, remain offensive. Remain offensive and say that there is no better place than India. 1.4 billion people, 10,000 years history. Where you find this kind of situation? We are faithful today in the world. All the leaders, whether they are in White House or number 10 Downing Street or EC country, all leaders are Indian. If a mutual fund has a CFO Indian, he has a better value. Sometimes when we are in India, we take things for granted. When we go abroad, we are more conscious. If we have the same attitude back at home, I think we will be very, very different.
Yes, that is true. And there is one more question which I would, now my questions are getting a little shorter, as well as the answer that we are expecting is also sort of like a single word or single line answers. So if I have to ask you that one single success mantra that you have, what would that be?
Never give up.
And so continuing from that line of questioning, I ask a lot of my students, what you're going to do with your careers, what you're going to do in your future, because that's a good way to start talking to them. But of course, I like to hear a lot of answers, and people have some kind of an idea. But a lot of people are generally confused as to where they should go or what they should pursue. Because at this age, generally people are trying to see so many opportunities. IIT Delhi also offers them a lot of opportunities. So, what kind of plan should they generally pursue, and what kind of should they have a backup plan, something like a plan B or a plan C? And would that kind of attitude help people to advance in the future, or is it okay to always have only one plan and just go with it?
It's nice to be confusion. Starting has to be confusion, because we have to try a few things and always have a plan B. There is no question. Loyalty is very important, but हम अपना जिंदगी loyalty में डालने वाले नहीं हैं. हमारा आपके साथ जम रहा है, नहीं जम रहा है हम निकल जाएंगे, हाथ जोड़ के निकल जाएंगे। प्लान भी हरदम साथ में रखना, और कंफ्यूजन तो रहना ही चाहिए। कंफ्यूजन नहीं रहेगा तो हम लोग क्लैरिटी कैसे आएगी?
Yeah. Thank you very much for the answer. That is also something I agree. In fact, many times I tell people that you should not be married to your job, you should be married to your wife. So that is the correct attitude to have. You should always have a backup option. You should always think of multiple opportunities. And I feel that it reaffirms my philosophy as well. That is very nice to know. And if I have to ask you now about your this philanthropy that you do, there are certain sectors that people generally worry about, especially in philanthropy. So, what is the particular social issue that is closest to your heart? What is that one thing you want to change or contribute to in India?
On the micro level, what बच्चों ने क्या गुनाह किया है जो उनको 2 वक्त का खाना नहीं मिले, उनको पढ़ाई नहीं मिले, उनका हेल्थ अच्छा नहीं रहे और उनको संस्कार अच्छे नहीं मिले। मैं डिटरमिन्ड हूं, रोज भगवान से प्रार्थना करता हूं कि 8 करोड़ हमारे बच्चे up to the age of 6, 7, whatever I have read, that whatever study you do, whatever culture you develop till the age of 6 or 7, remain forever. So that's how we started the Nandaghar, very technology driven. We have funded a lot of research and development company in US, in India, to find the food where no child remain hunger, malnutrition should go away from my country. We have now technologically, through this story, we have to teach them English. We have to give them education through technology with the TV. Google has given us complete system in Hindi and English. So education is there. संस्कार, हम झूठ नहीं बोलेंगे, हमारे में fear नहीं है, हम neighbor का respect करते हैं, we are not body, we are soul, so we have no fear. Those things are very, very important. I'm not a government, but this is what I can do. My women, more and more I know, they are much better in skill development than anybody else. And I've seen lakhs of women which we have developed, how they develop the food, how they develop the bank, how they created the beauty art, how they created the chakki, the flour mill, small flour mill, how they created small things. How we can encourage them? They are completely exploited. They have been married at 16, 17, having 3 children and no money in their hand. If we can change their life, my country will be different. So these are the couple of things which I am looking. Apart from government has to come out of the business, natural resource has to be completely explored in our country. Electronic and digital, we should be ahead of others. Entire back office of the world has to be in India. We should create those atmosphere. This is not my job, but whatever manner I can support and encourage, I will be there.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's very nice to know. I think I have this set of questions that I have are now done, and I think if we have some questions from the audience, we can probably take some of them. Please raise your hands if you have a question. Okay, there is one there in the back.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, good evening, sir. My question is, sir, you have started from a cable company to a multinational mining company. So, what inspires you through this journey of hardship of decades? to continue on your way?
I believe that I'm just starting. I feel people have, I really feel that I'm just starting. People have to tell me my age, then I realize this is my age. Otherwise, I am so much youthful because if you like something, you remain young and a huge opportunity in India. Vedanta is a very special company. I'm very proud. You can ask each of them, including our business partner, that how they are growing, how they get the independence. Nobody wants to make a union. They have their self-assessment and they find whether I'm the happiest man when my people go and start their own business. So this is what I'm liking, and that is making me grow. I always like not to push from the back. My young people are pulling from the front. My average age in the company is 28 years, whether it's a technology side or whether it's in the mining side. So I'm very proud and pleased that I could create this company. This company is going to be 500 years. This company is going to be institution. It is not going to run by my family. I always said this is like another America. I've always said the moneyed people, please remain simple. If you go to America, people have four shirts, four khaki pant. They drive their own car. They live simple. You have to think that wealth you are creating, you are a trustee of that wealth. You can always draw your salary. The rest of the money either go back to your business or it has to go to the society. If you have that mind, you will only have grow and grow.
Yeah. Is there any other question? Yeah, there is one more. I'll come back to you.
Hi, sir. So my question was that we've seen that in India has seen a lot of untapped natural resources. Like we hear that we have great aluminium ores, but it's not quite being utilized. So how do you think that Vedanta is working towards utilizing the entirety of India's natural resources and sort of developing it to its full potential?
Beautiful. We have not just tip of the iceberg. We have so much of copper, we don't produce copper. We are the largest producer of gold, a reserve of gold. We don't have produced gold. You know where the diamond, the best diamond, which is the best diamond in the world? Kohinoor. Where it has come from? India. Today we don't produce any diamond. It was the complete Western world which has taken advantage, where didn't allow and put our young people in mind the mining is bad. And they have moved. It is the most important thing. I have no doubt the awareness of government. We have said to the government, and government is listening. This government is a very special government because the biggest employment can go into the mining. That's self-certification. The junior mining company, all of you should make a thrive, as I said, into the junior mining company. Junior mining company is a very lucrative business. Each one, thousands of junior mining company can come, but government has to agree that if they find a discovery, they can sell to the senior mining company. They have all the right to make money. Making money should not be a sin. And I have no doubt with this approach, we will be able to do better exploration, develop more and more self-certification, more and more trust will be created. And young people, they trust more. And there is so much of funding available in the junior mining company. So this is one thing that you can explore. You can sell to the senior mining company and we'll be able to produce our own copper, gold, coal. This whole entire India has one coal company, Coal India. Is it possible? Something goes wrong, we'll be in trouble. 85% oil and gas we import. We are the only producer of oil and gas in the country. We produce at $6. We give $20 to the government. We buy at $100. People like you should explore oil and gas. Today's time, you don't have to dig. Today, there is enough technology available. With artificial intelligence, 70% you know where to put a hole into the ground. So with this, I have no doubt natural resource will progress.
Right. Next question from someone in the front.
So my question is, so when you were in, you would have done certain things, you would have taken certain decision. So is there anything you think that you could have done better?
I have no regret, but I have bought the largest mining company of the world called Anglo American 2 years back. I bought 26% share. I had no money, so I had taken 9 mutual fund and they put in money to buy 26% share. I bought share at $10 and I was saying to my people, don't do too much of analysis. Just put in an open offer and buy this company. They are the largest producer of diamond in the world. 80% of diamond they produce. All the metal minerals they produce. I had 26% share. Make the open offer for 100%. Go for it. This is money is not there. This is not there. Let's take this clearance. Let's take that clearance. It took 1.5 years. And the share price went from $10 to $26. Please, when iron is hot, hammer it. There is no 100% surety. 100% surety करने जाएंगे, time निकल जाएगा. Life is very short. 60-70% हो गया, अब निकल, हथौड़ा मार दो. Go for it. Take the chance.
So we will have one last question from someone in the front.
Sir, as you discussed about the importance of equity, few months ago Vedanta wanted to delist. At that time, due to certain LIC expectations, you couldn't delist. So, what were your thoughts on it? Can you explain at that time?
Yeah. What happened that we had borrowed a single person from Bihar came to London, raised $35 billion and invested in India, bought 13 companies, one after other, and then we don't have exchangeable position in India at the moment. I'm looking forward where we will have exchangeable position. So we have borrowed some money on the top and the debt was there, and I thought we can buy 100% company down, merge both the company together and can make a big company. But the people love my share and they didn't tender 100%, but I'm very happy that we have a 70% holding. We have no plan to increase our holding. 70% is a good holding, 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 good holding. 75% of that will go for the trust, for giving back the society. So I'm very pleased that what has happened, that was the whole idea. But it goes on as you go, new idea comes, new way of things comes. How do we create value? The whole thing will, that 25% of your time has to go all the time. How do you create value? And it's all about the perception, because the people who put in the money has a different mind. A biscuit company can have a 30 multiple. An aircraft company can have a 2 multiple. There is a mindset of the investor. You always have to keep in mind what people like. You may like something good and you think this is good, but if it is not good for others, change your mind completely. You have to go with the market.
So thank you, Mr. Anil Agarwal. That was a
Any of
very
the
enlightening session,
any of
and
the female
I would
girls, I
like
could
to
see a lot of
thank you
girls are in the audience. If
on
any of
behalf
the
of
girls want
everyone
to ask any question,
for this
one,
wonderful session and the time you took out to talk to all of us. Yeah, can you please speak again? We missed it. I'm sorry.
no, I've said that I always heard that the IIT Delhi had a phenomenal female mind. If any of the girls want to ask any question, it will be pleasure to answer. If it is not, it's fine. Great.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi, sir. So it was an inspiring speech, no doubt, and we got a lot of information from you, and it was really an eye opener in many ways. So one last question on doing business. So you iterated many times that you didn't have a need for a union in your organization, and as an India, as a country, India should get out of business and they have to privatize things. And it's actually easier said than done, but you might have faced a lot of problems, a lot of litigations, a lot of things when, especially when it comes to natural resources, it has become a jargon. It has become a very new taboo that you touch the natural resources, there is a lot of protest, there is a lot of problems. How do you face that? It's sometimes mentally tiring for a person, I mean, any human being. How do you handle those things? So that's something that I wanted to ask.
One thing I can tell you, the world does not want India to produce. They want India to be a market. It is our determination. I took this muhim 10 years back, and when I started Niyamgiri, I had a Church of England, all the NGOs after me. This is happening, that is happening. In 17th chapter in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, 5,000 years back, that we have to protect our environment, and we are very conscious. We have a tulsi, we have a conscious about our grass, everything. There is no question we not protect our environment. It is, I can see the wave in your favor. In natural resource, the wave is in your favor. The large company want to come to India. Junior mining will come happen. But Prime Minister Modi has 2 days back has announced that existing mine can expand 50% production, keeping the pollution level same. So from there, the downstream is so important. You can produce the 30 parts required of aluminum in car industry. It's a better material, non-corrosive. Railway wagons, all to save our trees, all construction is going to be aluminum. So it's a very, very, very interesting time at this point of time where GDP will be very high, 50% revenue goes to the government, and massive employment will be generated. Your laptop is a window to the world. More and more you analytical look at that, you will get the idea, develop the conceptual design. Very important to develop a conceptual design. You can do it yourself, make a partner with your colleague. Today is the time the world take couple of colleagues. Today is the time of friendship. Today is the time of alliance. If some of you like-minded people sit together, work together, एक से एक 11 हो जाएंगे. So I have no doubt natural resource will come up, but I'm very pleased to hear that I could see the audience. I'm very keen that our women power should come forward in India, and which is coming. I really wish to IIT Delhi And the way, Mr. Lakshminarayan, right? The way you have, is Lakshminarayan? Yeah. The way you have conducted, you look yourself so young, and you say, 35 years experience, I can't believe this. With your leadership, I have no doubt our student will go forward. I wish very best to the IIT Delhi, and anything I can do on personal capacity, on Vedanta. I'm on social media, I'm on my email. I will personally look into anywhere I can help.
That is great to hear, sir. We thank you very much for your initiative and for the confidence you have in all of us. And we are ending on a very high note, and we are all very, very happy to have come here and listen to your talk. It was a pleasure having you, and we hope in the future you will be able to visit our campus as well. We would very much like to show you our facilities, the kind of research we do, the kind of students we have. Of course, some of the things I have seen in IIT were mind-boggling for myself, because of the student, the amount of creativity and IQ people have here is phenomenal. So with that, I would like to invite you to come to IIT Delhi to forge a partnership with us and keep working with us, so that we can work towards a better future and work towards a better India. And with that, I would like to hand over the mic back to the student coordinator, who would like to probably sum up the vote of confidence. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay, we will give you whatever you think, chair, or whatever we can do together, and then we can do together with IIT together. Go ahead.
Thanks a lot, sir. And I must say it was a great session, and provide our Professor. We'd like to call upon Professor Surjan to present a memento to Professor Lakshminarayan as a. Yeah, it's no problem. And a great amount of thanks to Mr. Anil Agarwal for taking time out of his schedule to be here with us and deliver our students with an inspiring session. I'm pretty sure all of us are very grateful. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you.